Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a very different one today. Today we are going to be doing a iceberg video, which, well, this is going to be my first iceberg video. I'm actually doing an iceberg video on something that doesn't have an iceberg, so I did just create one myself. So, yeah, this is going to be the Dino Dan iceberg. All I do have to say is that as of now, I may have missed a few things, which I'm not opposed to doing a part 2 at any time, so just comment down below if I missed anything. And this is also just kind of a first recording, so either this will just be the actual recording for the video, or I will re-record it. But, for now, this is it, and, yeah, we're just gonna jump in. Also, I may not be able to give too much information since I'm literally just looking at the iceberg right now, and I will also hopefully be able to include clips, though it may not be too much footage, but I'll try to go into as much detail as I can. And also, again, don't mind this iceberg if it doesn't look the best, since this is the only iceberg I've ever done, so, yeah. So first we're going to start with the top tier, the pterodactyl tier, where we're just skimming the surface. So first we have Sinking Ship Animations, well, Sinking Ship Entertainment. Pretty much it's a company that makes, well, several TV shows. It creates, well, the Dino Dan franchise, but also creates the Odd Squad and a few other shows, which will be brought up a little bit later on. But, yeah, they pretty much are just the ones, the animation company that have made all these. First we have Dino Dan. The first show to come out in the series came out in, like, 2003, I believe. Could be wrong about that. I'll put it up on the screen if I did get that wrong. But, yeah. Anyways, yeah, this came out in 2003. It was, pretty much the first in the franchise. Dinosaur designs were not the best, and, yeah, pretty much that's Dino Dan. Next, we move on to Dino Dan Trek's Adventures, which a lot of people, including me, believed was actually a separate show, but it is actually just considered part of Dino Dan. It's considered season 2 and 3, and Dino Dan is considered season 1 and 2, and Trek's Adventures is just a continuation, being season 2 and 3 again. But it includes many more new species, which are much more updated designs, and also they kind of crisp up the designs from the original show, making them a little bit more better detailed. Next, we have Dino Dan, which is actually a completely new show with a new main character and many new species, and they also updated a lot of designs from the older shows. Dino Dex is a upcoming TV show, which is actually supposed to be its own spinoff, so it's not continuation of Dino Dana, though to be fair, it does focus on Dino Dana's little brother. So, yeah, all we know about this show is that it releases in 2024. We don't know when. And also, I forgot to mention back, for Dino Dan Trek's Adventure, I believe released in 2013 or around that time, and then Dino Dana released in 2017, and then Dino Dex again released in 2024. Dino Dana the movie, which is a movie that released in 2020 and was originally supposed to show in theaters, but instead got postponed and also ended up releasing on Prime Video on streaming services. So yeah, it also has redesigns of almost all the dinosaurs, and yeah, pretty much that's it. There also has a few new species in there, but yeah. DinoDan.com. DinoDan.com is a website which had a bunch of Dino Dan games and stuff, but it's pretty much unusable now since most of the games were Flash games, and since Flash is dead now, we can't really use any of them. Though there are ways you can play certain versions of them, and also I think some of them were added into app games, which doesn't work on newer devices, but I believe on older devices you actually can play them, so yeah. Next, we have Dino Kids. Dino Kids is the official YouTube channel for this franchise, and not only that, it's technically also the name of the franchise. It's technically called Dino Kids. It's the whole entire name of the franchise, so I may call it Dino Kids or the Dino Dan franchise, but either way, it means the same thing. It's the franchise of pretty much all the series that I just mentioned, and also the movie. Now we have Dino Dan Dino Cam, which is pretty much an AR app where you are able to pretty much see the dinosaurs in real world, but the thing is, Kentrosaurus is the only one free, the rest of them you gotta pay for. Dino Dan DVDs. The Dino Dan DVDs are just a show released on DVD, which they only have Dino Dan and Dino Dan Trek's Adventure on DVD. They do not have Dino Dana or the movie on DVD. So, yeah, but the old DVDs, you can actually scan the back of them to use dinosaurs from the Dino Dan Dino Cam. Dino Dana books. The Dino Dana Field Guide, Volume 1 is the first book, which hopefully a video on that should be coming out sometime soon, around the time I upload this video. But there also is a Volume 2 focusing on all of the non-dinosaur creatures from the show. And there's also an activity book, including more activities, and is very different from the other ones, but still has a few similarities. Dino Duels is probably one of the most popular Dino Dan games, and it's pretty much just where you can race all the dinosaurs from the show, plus a few extras, against modern-day animals. Safari Limited is an animal model making company that also makes dinosaurs, which in 2020, when the movie released, they teamed up with sinking ship animations, well, entertainment, and they made a few toys for the movie. They made a Zool, a Stygimoloch, a bunch of baby dinosaurs, and the feathered T-Rex, and also Nanotyrannus. And I think I mentioned Stygimoloch, yeah, which were able to scan in one of their own apps, which we'll get to eventually. Dino Dana World is kind of similar to the Dino Dan website, where you actually can play most of the games from it online, though there is its own app, which you can play that as well. Now we move on to the Dino Dan games, which there are several of these, which I won't be able to go into most of the detail because I'm not too familiar with these. But Dino Dodge is pretty much a game where you play as Dan running and kind of dodging dinosaurs. Then we have the next game, which is, I'm not 100% sure, I think it's like Dinosaur Adventure, which is pretty much you just explore the bedroom looking through a lot of dinosaur-related things. Dino Play was similar to the Dino Cam, except it was technically considered separately, and also you could scan these kind of paper with the footprints on them, and you could bring to life dinosaurs. Dino Defense, I believe this next one is literally Plant vs. Zombies, except with dinosaurs. Dino Dig Site is another game that was on the website, which is pretty much where you dig up dinosaur fossils. Next we have Dino Ready Set Dino, which is a game where you pretty much race a Dromaeosaurus and Stygimoloch against each other, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Dino Dig Site is the only Dino Dig Site new game is actually the only game on the Dino Dan website that actually works. So yeah. Dino Lab is one of the features on the Dino Dan website where you can see several things, which you can see a hatchery showing off the eggs and of several species in the game. There's also a species viewer where you can see the 3D models, which I tried getting into this, but again, Flash is pretty much impossible to get, and the only way you can get dinosaurs is, from playing the game to buy them, and you can't really do that when files don't save, so, I couldn't do that, but I did find some footage of someone else playing it, and I'll show this on the screen. I'll credit them in the description, but yeah, you could pretty much see a 3D model of every single dinosaur in the show, plus some of the extras. And there's also another, the yearbook where you can learn more about the characters, and also a camera where you can see some videos of the dinosaurs. Next, move on to Dino Dan Timeline, which is a feature in the Dino Dan website, which is, actually, I don't know how you actually get it from the website. I tried finding it, but I was able to, there should be a video on it coming out soon, but it pretty much just is a timeline showing off many species, most of them actually not even from the show, which have designs, but yeah, there are many species on there. Next, we move on to the Dino Dan game. Dino Dan Museum, Dino Dan Museum is pretty much where you go through the museum and dinosaurs keep on destroying the skeletons, so you have to pretty much put them back together. Then we have Dino Daycare, which is pretty much a game where you have to, baby dinosaurs will randomly appear in the yard, and you have to take care of them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, we have this next one, which is Dino Races, which, again, it's similar to the other racing game, except you're racing against other dinosaurs, and there's also Dino Dana. The Dino Exploring one is pretty much where you explore doing dino experiments, and it's, again, a Dino game. Next, we have this one, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty much where you feed dinosaurs. It's not really too crazy. Then we have Dino Craft, which is pretty interesting, where you can actually color and then print out your own dinosaur paper puzzle kind of model thing. Pretty interesting. Doug is the name of Dan and Trek's dog. Now we move on to, which I forgot to mention, this was the Dromaeosaurus tier, but we're moving on to the Spinosaurus tier, diving a little bit deeper into the iceberg. GeoWorld is a company that primarily makes dinosaur toys, but back when Dino Dan came out, they actually released some Dino Dan toys, which I don't see people talking about too often, but they did make a few toys for them. They were not the most crazy things, but yeah. Ankylosaurus, Apatosaurus, Velociraptor, Styracosaurus, Parasaurolophus, and Pachyrhinosaurus are the names of all the dinosaurs that are oftenly seen in the Dino Dan website, and also had 3D models. I'm not 100% sure if they were cut from the website. Well, I mean, if they were cut from the of the show, or if they were just models that were made specifically for the website. But they're here. They kind of stand out since you don't see them too much. Toby is the name of the baby T-Rex that is in the movie. Long Necky is the name of a Brachiosaurus that Dan names in one of the episodes of Dino Dan. Can't remember what this app is called, but this one is kind of like the Dino Dan Dino Cam, except you have to buy the Safari toys and put in codes to actually use them. Next, we have this other one, which this other one app, which I also can't remember, because instead of putting the names and stuff on these, I just have the images of the dinosaur app, so I can't remember what these do. Sorry about that. We have this other Dino Dan game, which I believe is one of the apps where you would actually have to go to like a museum to use, And there's this other one where it's like it's kind of an AR feature, except you can actually dig up fossil bones, which is interesting. Now we dive down deeper into the Deinosuchus tier, where we have Eoraptor, Proceratosaurus, Proconsignathus, Eustriptospondylus, Balosaurus, and Agmodana, another sauropod. These are all species that are just slightly edited models of other dinosaurs that appear in the last episode of Dino Dana, and they're mainly just filler creatures. They don't appear anywhere else. They're not really relevant, but they're here. Next, we have Nixon, which is Dino Dana's dog. I like Doug better, but yeah. We have this app, which is pretty much just a digital coloring book, but for dinosaurs. Dino Dan's dad never appears in the show ever. He's mentioned, apparently he's a paleontologist off for digs, but we never see him in the show, so, you know. Now we dive deeper into the Leviathan tier, which is pretty much just really deeper stuff. So first we have Bear and Caribou, which really random that there's another AR app, which is like Ice Age World or Prehistoric Mammal World or something like that. Just has some Ice Age animals and some more modern Cenozoic animals, and it's an AR app that's not connected to Dino Dan, but in the Dino Dan Dino Cam, they in the last pack added the Caribou and Bear. Really don't know why. They're not even like supposed to be a Megalosaurus or Archidus. They're literally just a Bear and Caribou. They were added in for unknown reasons. Next we have Zool vs. Gorgosaurus, which is an animation made for pretty much the museum where Zool was put on display, pretty much to go alongside the exhibit. And yeah, that's actually where we see the Dino Dana, Zool, and Gorgosaurus the most. VR Footolonchosaurus is in VR video, which is on the Dino Kids website, where you can just pretty much just see a Footolonchosaurus walking by a skeleton mount of itself. Also, I forgot to mention, there will be links in the description to all of these if you would like to go see them. Next, we have Moshikosaurus in the next tier, which is the Megalodon tier. Moshikosaurus is a dinosaur I don't see mentioned anywhere, which I don't see images or anything on it, but on the Dino timeline, Moshikosaurus is in there. Next, we have the Prehistoric World 3D, I believe, is what it's called. But again, that's where the Bear and Caribou came from. It is really random. It's another app not really connected to Dino Dan, but I mean, it has to be somehow since there's the Bear and Caribou added. Dimetrodon has concept art, though it's not sure where it actually was used for. Maybe it was just concept art for Dimetrodon, possibly originally being planned for the show, or it was for some unknown feature on the Dino Dan website. But as of now, unknown. I couldn't find any information on that. Now we move on to the darkest, the deepest, and the most elusive tier, the Odobonobatops tier. And this tier is interesting because it's actually nothing official. It's literally just some fan-made stuff that I decided, hey, I should give it its own tier. First, we have Dino David, which is a really cool YouTube channel. Pretty much a fan-made addition to the Dino Dan franchise. And yeah. Next, we have Dino DJ, which is a similar thing, but they also have a lot of cool Dino Dan green screen of the dinosaurs from there. So I recommend to go check those two channels out. Next, we have Dino Dex Odobonobatops, which is an animation that I literally made of just Odobonobatops in the Dino Dan franchise. I'll leave in the description. Check it out. And next, we have Dino Dex, which these are just the concept images, the little images we have of the species. I just pretty much made full body designs for them, and I do plan on doing a part 2 to that video with species that people want to see in Dino Dex. And comment down below what species you would like to see in Dino Dex, and I will make a concept art for them, and I will put them in the next video, part 2. I actually already got a few suggestions on that video, but I do need some more for me to actually be able to do that video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the Dino Kids iceberg, which I think it came out pretty decently. This is my first iceberg and probably the only one. If there's anything that I missed, comment it down below, because I am not opposed to doing a part 2 if I have to. I will do a part 2 adding on to this iceberg. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.